You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's True Blood After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's True Blood After Show.
Hey guys, Bing is for doing, and we are doing our first Season 5 True Blood wrap-up. The episode is called Turn, 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 and I am so excited that this is back. In case you're wondering, I am Jenna Busch. Gentlemen, I'm here with two lovely gentlemen. Introduce yourselves.
What's up, guys? I'm JC, a former bad actor and now just a super fan of True Blood, and I'm so pumped. You don't understand.
Oh, I do.
Okay. I'm just happy to be here. I'm ready to dissect it and break it down.
I got excited just listening to him. Hi, everybody. I'm Yerman, actor, super fan, geek, gamer, True Blood fan, and here we go.
You just
Thank you for the applause.
You just said geek and gamer. I too am these things. I just got a tattoo of a USB symbol on my finger. I'm holding up all three so it doesn't look like I'm giving you the bird.
Okay.
Okay, so before we start, guys, make sure you subscribe on iTunes. Leave us comments. It only takes a second. Tell your friends because we do some good stuff here, and you should hear all of it. Yes, tell everybody. All right, so you can also follow us, by the way, at AFTERBUZZ TV.
Yes, chat roll. We got to say hi to the chat roll, Water Tower Base, everyone. What's up, guys?
All right, so we're going to start by talking about Sookie, Tara. So who's that? Who's that?
Kidding.
Sookie.
I've had a crush on her for the last 5 years of my life.
I just like to say I said the first Sookie of the season.
Yeah.
I beat you to it.
You did, because I was waiting for Sookie.
All right, well, yours sounds better because I'm a girl. So whatever.
Yeah, I even add that mine part. I go, Sookie's mine.
Ooh.
Wow, I think you got us all.
Yeah.
All right, except I totally did it first.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we last left our lovely friends, Sookie shot Debbie Pelt, and Tara had been shot in the head. So there's some death.
Yeah, it was... Okay, for the beginning...
Death on True Blood? No.
Never.
It was slightly frenzied, you would say, the intro. Those first, 2 minutes of the episode, I was like...
Yeah, for sure. Had to put it on pause and go, resume.
I think the two of you need an inhaler.
Maybe.
Just
Could
there.
be. Okay.
But it was a really cool moment, and I think, aside from everything that happens after, just knowing that Sookie has now admitted that she wanted to kill Debbie.
Yeah.
Is a really, really big deal.
Big.
Why? Okay, well, sure, Debbie, the last 2 seasons was after her left and right, but I mean, why did she just not say it was an accident? I mean, it's self-defense. Like Lafayette, when Lafayette brought that up, I mean, it was an easy out.
It was an easy out. I think that Sookie has a tendency to blurt. She blurts. She just says bleh, and she verbally vomits.
Yeah,
It's probably a byproduct of her power of telepathy and so on. She's used to people being able to disclose everything to her, so she's not used to being a filter for herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I think that she hears everyone's truth. So I think on some level, when you realize you're picking up other people's feelings, like even with intuition, like if you're hanging out with somebody, you're like, I know they're going to say this, I know they're going to say this. You wonder if people get the same thing from you. So now everyone else is not telepathic, but I wonder if on some level she's like, I just speak truth because someone's going to figure it out.
Could be, yeah. It's or the crusader in her, or just always the do-gooder in her. She
also the stupid girl in her because you don't want to get caught for murder.
Well, yeah, and maybe she's just growing up a little bit and kind of owning being her own person now. Is maybe that's the way I got it. Is they're going to develop her character hopefully, and the way Anna Paquin's going to play it, a little more grown up and a little more owning up to what's going on around her instead of constantly playing more of the victim card. Like, you know, all this stuff is happening around me. Up until now, it's stuff has been happening to her. Whereas now, I think what I'd like to see is her doing stuff in her life proactively, taking charge of it, owning it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think that she will. I mean, she has powers now too. She can.
That was actually a great moment for me, being as we are superhero fans and superpower fans. I was like, for the first time, she got to use her power in kind of a cool way. I'm surprised they haven't allowed that to happen, where Lafayette knew that she could pick up on her thoughts and actually managed to, you know, divert what could have been a bad situation, i.e. her admission that she did in fact kill her on purpose, to Alcide. Instead, he's like, "Girl, what the heck are you doing? You know, you know that's not supposed to be. This could get us in trouble." And then she just kind of came back in vocally, that is, say, not telepathically back, but said, "You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't know what happened." I thought that was a great little moment where, for once, she's starting to use her abilities, you know, for her good, instead of so far it's been something that's been shunned. Like, she's had to use it, but she's had to use it on a down low, and she hasn't felt good about it.
Now she can zap people.
I think it's maybe she just didn't know how to use her power. She's like you said, coming into her own, but she did not know how to use it. You know, now as her journey goes along, she's gonna learn how to use the light, the flash of the light. But I want to go back a step. Last season, when Adele came back and told her, "You need to be alone."
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a theme for not only her, but a lot of the characters this season. Just that lonely journey, because she's always been with either Bill or Eric, or Bill, Eric, or Alcide, or Bill, Eric, or you.
Lucky girl.
Yeah, like as if one isn't a big pull for most. Now I'm gonna have all three.
Oh my God! I sat next to Alexander Skarsgård in a bar, and with Roth, by the way, who our future co-host, and her face started going like she's twitching, and I realized there's someone leaning on me, and I turned my head, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, the same thing happened. The gentleman who plays Alcide, Joe Manganiello. Wait, did I say it right?
No one says it
No,
right.
not even Joe.
No, he didn't even know how to say it. Manganiello.
Manganiello, thank you, Manganiello. For some reason, I want to say Manganiello, but Manganiello. He came into a restaurant I was at the West Side Tavern, and first of all, watching him walk by you was like this, and then every female in that restaurant was like.
I know.
And nobody got anything that they ordered for a good 15, 20 minutes. People were like, "Oh my God, he's so hot." Chicks were saying that. I wasn't. Although he's good looking.
Come on, it's Joe.
Fine, he's good looking, but I'm just saying, all life stopped. So I'm saying I've witnessed that kind of phenomenon.
Oh yeah, no, I do a lot of red carpets for a living, and so I was at the True Blood red carpet and the after party, and I went up to him and I was chatting with him for a little bit. But it is very difficult not to sweat when you're talking to him. I mean, maybe it was warm. Maybe it was warm inside the party. I don't know.
Maybe they're both. You guys are both method. Maybe since he's a wolf, he gives off the heat. You know.
Thank you for justifying my drooling over him.
On that. That's nice.
We
get some werewolf lore in there. I like it.
Hey, speaking of, what about Tara?
Yes. Okay. So Tara. Actually, this was a crazy scene. First of all, Pam. I had to say Pam because Pam is one of my favorite characters. I love the like weird crap she says, and the fact that she got into a Walmart sweatsuit.
Yeah. I'm in a Walmart sweatsuit for y'all. That was a fantastic line.
I love that. I just love her so much. Anybody who's seen any of my other wrap-ups of True Blood will know that like I'm obsessed with Pam. But I think it was really interesting that now Sookie owes her a favor.
Yes.
And is going to try to get Eric back for her.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys saw HBO put out a viral thing for Maker's Day. So you saw Pam saying like, "You're the best vampire a girl could have," and she does a shot of blood. And
I've been waiting for Pam's story to expand.
And we are getting that this season.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier. Like between Tara and Pam, I feel like they're going to do hopefully some nice, interesting things to kind of get them back into the fold, whereas they seem to be very ancillary up till now.
Yeah.
Well, Pam was always the queen of the one-liners.
Yep.
She always had the best line out of any character.
Absolutely.
And then now, you know, and I go back. Okay, I did a marathon. I got to admit, I think Yerman knows. I did a little marathon a few days ago.
This is awesome.
I watched 39 episodes of True Blood in 4 days. I've seen every single one, but I wanted to brush up.
Wow.
He doesn't have a day job.
Clearly. Oh my God.
Dare I say it? He has no life.
Well, you know, I understand because Carolyn Hennessy, who's in the future playing one of the Vampire Authority, actually told me she mainlined it. And she did pretty much the same thing.
Okay,
Really?
see.
Sorry. You're the one who came up with a hashtag for it. I don't know what you're talking about.
But but the thing, but what I was going to mention is, that the Pam thing has been brewing since season 3.
Yeah.
When Russell was out to, when Eric thought Russell was going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then that's when, Eric was telling Pam, he's like, I want you to become a maker.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that, and I remember I took notes out of every episode
Oh,
I watched.
nerd.
If you can see it, this entire pad is notes. I'm
Nerd.
just saying.
Pathetic. All of you, completely pathetic.
Oh, really?
Thank you.
Really, Phil?
Yeah.
Yes, you know what? I'm a super fan. I'm sorry.
I'm only teasing you because like I'm a fan of so many things. I have toys in my house. It's like, yeah.
And I think we should do cosplay.
I'm
True
so
Blood.
in. I'm so in.
Roth may have you beat. I heard she wants to be Sookie, though.
She can be Sookie.
Oh, okay.
Who do I want to? I want to be Pam.
Hey, well, let's
I want to be Pam. Are you kidding me?
let
Nice.
the super fans decide who's who.
Yeah.
I'm
right
taller
in,
than
everybody.
Roth. I'm taller than Roth. I have to be Pam. She has to be Sookie.
Well, why don't you could be Eric? Like pull the hair back and
I just want to have him.
Dude,
I don't want to be
why
him.
would you give away the cool characters, the guy characters, to the girls?
Right.
Come on.
could we either one of us pull Eric? No. You're like all see. Look, you got the long flowing locks. Come
I
on.
know. That's true.
You
I
know.
could, Joe.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying, watch out, buddy.
I want to be Andy.
I kind of feel Sam too every once in a while. Although,
Oh, I love Sam.
yeah.
So let's let the fans decide who.
Yeah.
All right, you
Absolutely.
guys vote on who we should be. If you look up Jennings Roth Cornett so you can see what she looks like. She is blonde and tiny. She's a pixie.
Ooh.
So
Check
wait,
her
it's
out
gotta
on
be
our
hot in here.
Eureka after show.
Absolutely.
How
Yeah.
Yeah,
about
that's
that?
true.
That's easier.
That is easier. Yes, go to the Eureka After Show and you will absolutely see. Although this particular week it's just me talking for a long time, but yeah, so you'll see what she looks like.
I thought it was
You
actually
know,
brilliant.
I had fun.
Yeah, you
We
should.
went deep. We talked about the meaning of life and AI and the singularity and Skynet. And
Really?
Wow. So-
yeah.
Oh my
So,
gosh! I would have. Okay, we're
Speaking
getting
of
off topic.
Yeah.
Speaking of artificial intelligence, singularity, and Skynet, how about those vampires and werewolves and death? No,
Right,
but-
Tara.
exactly.
But-
Tara.
No, wait, but you were saying it was an interesting point you were bringing up about in season 3 when Pam was made, or that is say it was alluded that Pam should be a maker.
Right.
You know, the show, and you've said this before, the show loves some foreshadowing.
Mhm.
So it's awesome to see that finally come around.
Totally.
But it was also something that she alluded to. We were not necessarily, I don't know that we knew anything about Pam's past as a maker, but she also let it slip already in this episode when she says, you know, y'all, I have done this before, though not to great success.
Right.
So that was an interesting bit interstrewed amongst her awesome, like, the fact that she gets into the ground and she's got her back turned to Tara, like, I don't want
Yeah.
anything to do with her. And poor Sookie's like, can you please show her some graciousness? I was like, okay, fine. And she turns.
I know.
And then
spoons
she
her.
delivers that line. So obviously there's a little bit of a past there, which is great. Again, more Pam development, which I love to see.
Yeah, and also I think we should talk about the fact that Tara hates vampires, and now she is one.
Exactly.
She has a bitter.
But is she a
Awesome.
vampire or is she going to be possibly? Now I have not. I've seen the series so many times. I've not read the books, but I've
I've read the
heard
books.
that it could be a play on Bubba.
It would be really interesting because half her head is missing. So guys,
Yes.
I guess I should explain Bubba. Okay, Bubba is Elvis. Yes, I just said that line. Bubba is Elvis. So he was turned, but it didn't really go so well. And he's kind of dumb. He's also there's something really wrong with him, and he's really violent, but he's really sweet.
Okay.
I
So
know
he's like
that sounds
Lenny
weird.
from Of Mice and
He's
Men.
exactly that. And so it would be interesting to see if that's what she is. Now, I talked to Rutina on the red carpet, and she said, and she couldn't actually talk about anything because it was before we
Sure.
saw the episode, but she said it's something she's going to have to come to terms with. So that sounds like maybe it won't be a Bubba thing, and that she will be all there, or she'll develop it again. But because the thing is, she's obviously not going to accept the fact that she's a vampire. She hates them.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to see which way they go with that.
Well, they made an allusion in the post clips, right, of scenes of future episodes where obviously Sookie is going to be championing. Sorry, that's a hard word to say. The fact that she is still in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's going to be some sort of a development where she gets to a point where she's again sentient Tara inside the vampire version body.
Right. Yeah.
Which will be interesting dynamic regardless, because at that point now she's everything she always hated. But then there's going to have to be some enjoyment on her part, because bottom line is you get to be a vampire. Come on.
Woo!
It can run the whole gamut. Now with Tara, the thing is that she was so. I don't want to say that she always had an axe to grind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with her mom, with you name it. She's always. Is she gonna exact revenge on tons of people. Let's say even Jason. I'm gonna throw.
Oh
Really?
no, I don't know anything.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying.
I thought I guessed it right because.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
I've seen some of the future episodes.
Ah.
I'm not saying anything.
I have a okay. This is my theory in my notes here. But
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking that Tara would go after. She's always been in love with Jason since season 1.
Yep.
And he's always denied her. He's always kind of pushed her away, and she's gonna go after Jason, and this is when Jessica would step in. Because it's a theory. I remember I've not read the books.
Interesting. Well, I think we might switch around our topics since you brought that up, and we'll talk about Jessica, Jason, and Steve Newlin.
Nice.
And we'll talk about Bill, Eric, and Nora later. Because someone else is manipulating Jason. Steve Newlin. That was such a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
I am a gay vampire American.
That was awesome.
Wasn't it?
And his smile afterwards is
Oh my
phenomenal.
God, he is hysterical. I think the thing that was cool though is when he first walks in, like you don't know. I mean, maybe someone did screw with him. Maybe somebody was like, "Oh, I'm totally gonna make you, I'm gonna make you, sorry, I'm totally losing my train of thought here. But someone's gonna make you into a vampire to punish you, but instead, someone did teach him because he knows how to glamour.
Right.
And he glamored
So he
it.
lied about that.
Also, I'd just like to point out that Jason was standing there naked.
Yes.
Again.
Hey, no, don't say. Seriously, as much as possible. You do that all you want.
Well, I think it's required in his contract, probably. He's just got to be...
The window for this apology is closed. I don't have a contract.
That was the one I was going
That's
for.
awesome.
I don't have a contract.
Yeah,
I know that show.
Yeah.
By the way, if he does have this in his contract, I would like to hug and kiss whoever did that contract for him.
It's probably in everybody's contract, but that's another story.
That's kind of true.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Sorry, JC. go ahead.
No. Okay, when I was doing the marathon, my roommate walks by, and he hasn't really watched the show, but he saw us. I was in season 2, and he's watching Newlin go by, and he said, "Oh, he's gay," and he walked out of the room.
Yeah, and I thought the same thing.
Well, I think a lot of us did.
Yeah.
I really didn't think
Yeah.
about it.
I think the whole point is supposed to be that we're not that surprised, but Jason's look is phenomenal. He's like, "Oh my God, I had no idea." It's like, really? The whole time you were at this camp when he was in
never
those
got it.
polo, what do you call it, the preppy, like even the way I mean, come on.
What? Oh
That's all I
my-
have to say. I'm going to stop.
Wow,
at come on.
Yerman.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it was interesting that Jessica saved him, and then everything sort of switched at the party because Jessica's having parties at her house, rock band, and that was an awesome scene, by the way.
You like them battling it out because
I
they were playing.
did.
It was like college games.
It totally was. It totally was.
I mean, she's what now? Well, she's forever 18, but she's getting in that college party phase, and Jason is falling for her.
Aww.
Which is awesomely juxtaposed with the fact that Jason was the the quarterback, the star quarterback. Isn't he also the prom king or something like that?
He's just everything.
He's like a high school star.
Right.
And those parties were his wheelhouse. That was his
Yeah.
backyard. He owned those parties, and for a certain extent, it's still there. Obviously, the first thing the Greeks, the sorority girls do is latch onto him like bees to honey. So he's still got a little bit of magic, but he's now fishing for bigger game in
Yeah.
Jessica, who wants nothing but to go back to something that Jason's growing out of while he used to. Like, there's that whole one's coming out of it, one's coming into it type of scenario.
Is he in love with her, or is it the blood?
I think he's in love with her.
So do I.
I think. I mean, I also think that he defied his friend Hoyt for this.
Yeah.
So the idea that this isn't going to work out and that he's destroyed the closest friendship he has outside of Sookie, just to have this woman and that she's like hanging out at a party and like hooking up in front of him, with someone else, and we've all been to that party. All been to that party. I mean, it's really sad. I think he really is in love with her, and it is something that you see like in the books constantly. Is it the blood? Is it love? I mean, it's something we were talking about on Eureka about is it a robot or is it real? It's one of those things that you're never really going to know, and that's the endless speculation on it. I think is a really cool thing.
But now, one thing I want to ask is, does the blood eventually just work its way out?
I believe it does. I
Okay.
believe it does. But I mean, it depends because like if you're in a relationship and you keep exchange, then it's different. But she hasn't done that in a while, and he's still following her. So I mean, now this episode does pick up exactly where the last one left off, but it's it's been a little while, so it'll be interesting to see how that develops. But I also want to know what's happening with Steve Newlin because here's the thing. I asked Dennis O'Hare. He said that Russell Edgington has a new sweetie this season. Yeah, but and then Michael McMillan, who plays Steve Newlin, came over and they were like woo, and they were totally partying, and I was like, is it? And they said no, but I'm not 100% sure I believe them.
Yeah, no, I think about it. It's the perfect marriage. He needs a new Talbot, and Newlin came from the power, from the religious sector the way he did, and it's the same thing that Russell's trying. He's trying to break up the authority in the Vampire League, and he's got his own plans.
Yeah. Yeah, and we don't know how Russell's coming back too. I mean, we don't know exactly what's going on. What I do know, and this is not from watching the episodes, by the way. So guys, seriously, just like that reaction before, this is not a spoiler. This is just stuff that I've spoken to them about on the.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
I almost wanted to duck and roll just then.
I know.
Stop, drop, and roll almost.
I know, but I mean, they've talked about him, and he said he's going to be in a very different place. Like, he's still angry, but he's a little more calm, and he chills a little bit about where he is, which I think is going to work well with the Vampire Authority because they're the big bad of the season.
Wait, I'm sorry, you're talking about Russell's a little bit more.
Right, and that's what Dennis said. So, but I think that those two might be the couple. If they are, I'm going to totally call you out, Dennis O'Hare, for lying to my ass.
We'll have to get him on here to explain himself. There
Please.
Either way, he's a great character, and I'm really glad that they're finding a different dimension to it. And I really like to see the concept that now we're getting to, whether whatever they explore, whether it's Russell's new philosophies, whether it's Reverend Newlin's new philosophies, being that he's a vampire now. Whatever's going on, they're really trying to get back to, not trying, it seems like they're really getting back to the world of the authority, the world of vampire-humankind relations, which was what they alluded to in the first season, that kind of created, that was the world that they created. And then we kind of started doing some other things with Maynards and werewolves and other lore that was brought in, fairies. And so I really like the idea that we get a chance to kind of explore the world which was created first and foremost, that kind of grabbed everything to begin with. Like, what are vampire-human relations? Who wants to be a part of the human race? Who doesn't want to be? And that stuff is really nice for me to see.
Yeah. Well, and now, before we go any further, I do want to talk about Amazon because they are our sponsors. And as people who watch my Eureka show know, I do a segment every week about drunk purchases on Amazon because that's what I do. So here's the deal.
That's awesome.
It kind of is. Awesome. So here's the deal. If you're going to purchase something on Amazon anyway, go to AfterBuzzTV.com and click on the Amazon banner. It'll take like 2 seconds, and we get goodies. So you get goodies. We can bring you more really, really cool content. So make sure you do that. So this week, I may have purchased a giant spear.
What? Hello.
I did. I purchased a spear. I bought a sword before, but I did a Geek Girl calendar shoot called Women of Geekdom, and they gave me a spear for my Valkyrie outfit. And when I got back, I was like, we were drinking, and I was like, you know what I totally need to have is my spear. And so I purchased a spear.
And you got it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's bigger than me. And very pointy.
Do you find that you find like once a week you sit around and you're like, you know what I need? I need a spear.
Yeah, I do. With me, it's always weaponry. I should be on this show. No,
That's not at all irksome.
No,
I'm not worried about that at all.
No,
She's got weaponry.
I have lots of weaponry. I have a sonic screwdriver.
I sense that's not sincere, although I have no idea why.
Thank you.
I won't stab anyone.
This is why we're on. If you guys are watching us live, we are on the right side of the studio.
See this?
She's got her own space.
Right. And when
this is our dancing space. This is her dancing space.
When Roth is.
Phil, does Amazon sell helmets by chance?
They do. I know they do.
Okay, thank you.
They totally do.
I'll bring one.
And shields.
And shields.
I suggest you gentlemen arm yourselves.
And DVDs on probably sword fighting and defense mechanisms.
Excellent.
Okay,
Excellent.
It's a very
pointy
pointy stick. Lots of books.
Books.
For Father's Day or what? What's going on?
Father's Day.
Oh, if you have a really nerdy dad, I'm reading the best book ever. Okay, so, sorry, I didn't mean to act like a 12-year-old there for a second. I think I bounced in my chair, if you guys didn't see that. So there's this book, and it's called Ready Player One. It is the geekiest thing I've ever read in my entire life. I won't go too into detail. Dystopian future, every 80s video game reference, and Dungeons and Dragons, and TV shows, and John Hughes movies. It's so geeky. Get it for your dad. If your dad likes geeky stuff, you have to get it.
Get it for my dad. Do I get to get it for myself?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you
Buy
do.
two. There you go. And just go through our AfterBuzzTV.com and hit the banner, and we're good.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, so I think we should talk about Bill, Eric, and Nora. Nora's new. Rachel Griffiths. Yeah, she's kind of amazing. She is. Oh, you're patting your chest there. You love her.
Can I just say this may not have you may not get this reference, but there's a great line in Bring It On, where the ex-boyfriend is talking to Kirsten Dunst, and then they hang up the phone, and then the girl we just hear an off-camera voice go, "Who was that?" And he turns to her, he goes, "My sister." And then, because he's covering up the fact he was talking to his girlfriend, and he turns and he goes, "But you're not my sister." That's the only thing I could think of the entire time when all of a sudden we find out the special nature of the relationship between said Nora and Eric when they're like, "She's my sister." Next thing you know, Bill's like, "Guys, New Orleans can hear you. I'm just saying, you might want to keep it down." What kind of sister? That's awesome.
But it's not blood.
They're not blood.
Yeah, they're not blood.
They have the same maker. Hey, look. I just think that sex scene was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys, you know, it was done. Alan Ball, they put it in there just because since there's not, they don't foresee, or we don't foresee Sookie and Eric getting it on, but
Right.
they have to have Eric at least naked. Yes.
Yes.
Go
they do.
wash up, dirty bird.
They had to. So
Nice.
I'm sure you were happier than a puppy with two, Peter. So it's fantastic.
A little bit. But I mean, also, it's that like, all right. Roth and I, when Roth is here, we'll have a discussion about that sort of aggressive sex and the kind of, you know. Anyway, we like it. So it was a great scene, but I also think it's really cool that she's part of the Vampire Authority.
Yes.
Right. She's Chancellor.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. So, and also finding out from her that the Vampire Authority is split between not only, and this is something that that other characters told me on the red carpet, they're not only split between whether or not they look at humans as people to deal with or look at them as food. They're also split between wanting to kill Bill and Eric for killing Nan, or if they want to let them go, and they're thanking them for getting rid of Marnie. So that's sort of an interesting dynamic.
I mean,
Well,
they
mentioned
said
it.
factions,
They
right?
mentioned it on the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They did.
Bill says factions, not faction, as when referring
Yeah.
to Nora, and Nora's, yes, there's factions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also, the two of them in the trunk, that was so cute.
You know, they are the next Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
They're the next.
Nice Tango and Cash reference.
I know.
Yes.
Like
Very nice.
Murtaugh and Riggs.
Riggs,
They're,
yeah.
They're I love that.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
I do
super
too.
thrilled that we get to see kind of them as, Abbott and Costello, Butch and Sundance, and they're going to walk around and wreak havoc together and get into trouble and get out of it. It's going to be great to see those two kind of interact, because you can tell their friendship is also obviously cultivated off the field. So now to see that be played into it, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Would they
can't
be
wait.
friendship? Would it be, or are they frenemies?
I think they're frenemies, but the thing I like about it is the two of them have such dry senses of humor that the one-liners are just, they're just fantastic.
I don't get the frenemies. I get that they're just, I don't know if they're enemies so much as just they're people that have had contradicting agendas in the past,
Well-
but they're both immortal. Like at that point, and when you've lived for so long, you probably put petty stuff like, "Am I gonna hold a grudge with you?" For
But
500
they both
years?
had to fight over. God, I hope I don't get bleeped on this. But what Pam refers to as a
it a
super
quote?
snatch.
That's a quote. That's a quote.
That's
from
a
the
quote
show.
from the
It's
show.
a
So
quote from the show.
that's legal. That's legal.
Right. But I mean, they're both fighting over Sookie, and now Sookie's gotten rid of both of them. So they're like, you ever like hang out with a girl that you two guys were broken up with by the same girl, or like I know I am friends with girls who have dated the same people that I have, and it's like you still have that thing where you're like, I don't really like you because you're hooked up with that guy, but we understand each other.
Okay,
You know.
condom enemy, or in this case, common lover.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if this relationship with Nora continues, if she stays on the show, and Bill tries to get back with Sookie. Because obviously we're not going with the books very much anymore. Especially like with everything that's happened with the fairies and all of that. Also, I'd like to point out there was nary a fairy to be seen.
I know.
Because I think maybe they got that like the opening with the Lumiere fruit last season. People were like, really, fairies?
You didn't like it? You didn't?
No, and not because I don't like the fairies, because
Okay.
I do. In the books, they're really, really cool. But I think the way they portrayed them in the beginning bothered me. And there was a moment in the season finale where Andy's rolling around with a fairy on the lawn, and she's got a zipper going down her dress. And that immediately pulls me out of it. I'm like, dude, so do they have like fairy zipper factories? And some fairies just like make zippers all day? Like, really? Do you
Okay,
magic
you're just
the
getting
zippers?
nitpicky here.
I am, but look, I did makeup and style stuff for years and years and years, and so like that just stood out. Like, you're magical creatures, and I don't think they were handled well.
Okay, I hate to say this is slightly off topic, but it's still True Blood, and I have to know.
Yeah.
Why did he have sex with the fairy? Why was that? Why did that happen? Is that going to be told to us later?
Well, when I talked to him on the carpet, he said, I said, so what's Andy getting into this season? He said he's getting into some ladies, and I was like, ladies. And he's like, well, you know, Holly. And I was like, nah, there was an S on the end of that. You said ladies. So, but then he's like, you know, he did have that encounter in the woods. So, one of the things that a lot of the people who play fairies said on the carpet was that the fairies are very different this season. So I think we're going to get less of the and more of the we can shoot things out of our hands.
Okay.
They're, you know, before
Good.
they were just like putting me around flaming hot Cheetos. Like, I must have that all the time. But, you know, now I think we're going to see them not be like snack food. I think they're really going to be very powerful, and they're very, like, Claudette and Claude are going to be really strong in Sookie's life.
Well, they were alluding to that, I think, all along.
Yeah.
Where they want to close the worlds between the fairy and the human world, but they
Right.
need Sookie back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it Mob? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Mab.
Mab, thank
Yeah,
you.
Queen Mab.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see him come back. I do. It can't be enough. Okay, there's so many storylines you got to keep straight. Might as well throw some fairies in there. Sure, why
Right.
not?
Well, everyone was joking about this would be zombie season because last season they said zombies are the new vampires and zombies are all the rage and all of that, and everyone wondered if Tara was going to be a zombie. But I don't.
Well, they're kind of alluding to it. If we do have a vampire who's not all there mentally, then that technically is like a zombie-esque vampire. So they get to have a little bit of play there.
Yeah, and I just want to say for the record, like, I don't dislike the fairies. I just don't like the way they did them last season.
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I would have liked to see fairies. They kind of, on the one side, they were kind of very fairy-esque, and then there was that whole bit when everything changes once when all of a sudden the colors changed, and they became kind of like more a rough exterior, like the fairies. I forget exactly. It's when at the very end when she has to leave the fairy world with
Papa Earl.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden everything changes. Like, that's kind of everything else about the show is kind of darker. It was kind of interesting to all of a sudden be like flowers and apples and yay and pools of light. You know that it did. Yeah, if you're gonna do fairies within the context of the world you've created. I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I guess, guys, we should do a little commercial.
Let's do it.
All right.
Hey there, good buddies. The handle's Woolly Bear. I'm a truck driving man, but I'm not that old school kind of truck driving man, no. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving through these great United States of ours. And my favorite podcasts in the world are from AfterBuzz TV. And why? Because AfterBuzz TV's like a post-game wrap-up show for all your favorite TV shows, like Jersey Shore, Dancing with the Stars, Mad Men, and a whole truckload more. I like listening to my Gossip Girl podcast, catching up with all my fellow fans and getting all the latest news and gossip. No, I got some strong opinions. And AfterBuzz TV lets me share those opinions with thousands of other listeners. Whoo-wee, what a feeling. I used to doze off on those lonely stretches of road. And don't worry, I got the cruise control. But now I'm wide awake and listening to all the AfterBuzz TV goodness. Check them out, give them a holler, and tell them the old Woolly Bear sent you.
All right, guys, I'd like to actually talk about Patrick and Terry because it was really, really cool having Scott Foley on and finding out that, like, having him address the fact that the fire is happening in the house, but the ghost is really nice. So, like, what actually caused that fire?
So there's two theories, right?
Go ahead. I'm dying to know this.
Well, no, I mean, there's the two theories that they're putting out is, according to Terry, it just happened to be a ghost, a freakish occurrence by a ghost who happened to be a very nice lady, which is awesome. He's really so good at that. Todd Lowe is so good at, like, kind of just
him.
He's been awesome since his debut at Gilmore Girls, wasn't it? And it's nice to see Scott Foley come back after doing the unit. Like, come on, from Felicity to this, awesome.
I know.
But so there's two theories. There's a Terry theory that it's just a really nice lady who came back as a spirit and possessed Lafayette and then stole the baby and created a fire, or something mysterious that might be happening, which is where Sergeant Scott Foley comes in and says that out of the 5 members of their unit from their Iraq unit, which is alluded to as probably most likely some sort of a spec ops unit of sorts, that 4 out of those 5 people have had their houses burned down, and some of them are also dead. And he thinks there's a correlation. Obviously, there's a correlation. And, of course, we cut it off because Terry doesn't even want to talk about it, which is going to be great to see Terry's character develop because you and I have talked about the fact that they've constantly had little blips about him.
Yeah.
And they've
Since
never
season
mentioned
one.
it. They always give you like a little something, and then they drop you right there because he just wants to have a normal life. It's going to be great to see what the heck went on with Terry's backstory.
Oh yeah, totally. In fact, you guys don't know, but Roth and I both want to marry him.
Really?
He's awesome.
Not necessarily Todd Lowe, but Terry,
Terry.
because
Right.
he's awesome.
He just wants to flip pancakes, and that's all right with him. It's
Not
what a
together.
great
Like
line.
Oh, okay.
no, we'll fight each other over
Right.
it. But I have pointy sticks.
You have a spear.
I do.
You
Yeah.
have a spear. There you
Yeah.
go.
Just saying, Roth, I got a spear.
Yeah.
Because even Sheriff Bud, season 1,
Mm-hmm.
said, "What he should have gone to prison for what he did."
Yeah.
What did he do?
I know. I'm dying to find out.
You know.
If I do, I'm not gonna tell you.
Ugh.
Would you? I mean, though, seriously, like sometimes I do get episodes early, and I don't want to spoil them for anyone.
Well, technically speaking, how do we know that what he did also correlates to what happened in the war? Because
Right.
there's no way the sheriff of Bonetown would know about what he might have done in the war. So clearly he's done a bunch of stuff that he's obviously trying to get over. So it'd be great to know even like one of those things. Like, was he Spec Ops? Was he like demolitions? Did he blow something up the wrong way? Somebody died that wasn't supposed to? Did he? I mean, obviously he's volatile. It's great to see him kind of like, like get inside. I don't want to talk about it. All of a sudden he's like, you better cut it out. He's like, we're cool.
I know.
I'm cool.
I know.
That's kind of scary. That's
Let's
kind of
just-
like sociopath.
Right,
kinda like-
but
Isn't
it's
it?
great to see him because up till now all he's done is flip pancakes, and he's been like the nice guy of the bunch. It's great to see him like, don't mess with me. I'll blow up stuff for fun.
I know. And actually, I mean, I think last season one of my favorite things in the world was the episode with he and Andy, and like how he helped Andy get over the V.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yes.
and so I actually they
Trying to counsel him with a
I
12-step
know.
program.
Oh my God! In the treehouse, it was awesome.
That was fantastic.
I asked if there are going to be some more of those interactions this season, and they said, yeah, they definitely will be.
Could it be the other way around?
It could be. Could
Because
be.
okay, supernatural or not, Terry.
I don't think he's supernatural, but it's certainly possible he could be possessed.
Ah, I knew I'd get something out of her. I knew
Oh,
it.
but I don't actually know that. I actually don't know that. I'm
That
just
was
guessing.
Almost brilliant on your part. And
Almost,
then you
except
gave it
I
away-
don't
Then
know.
you gave away your motives. Way to go.
I know.
Sorry,
No, I actually don't know. I actually don't
Okay.
know, and I swear I will never spoil anything. I promise. If I find, because I have the first 4 episodes at my house right now, and I haven't watched them all.
Isn't that like cheating?
Yes,
Who does that? Who throws a shoe?
me.
Honestly.
No, I mean
you know
I
we're going after the after show. We're gonna watch.
Yeah,
episodes
yeah.
2, 3,
watch
4.
the shows at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, but I don't like spoiling things for people,
Yeah.
and I'm under so many embargoes. I'd be shot in the head if I didn't get to them first with my pointy stick.
Hence the spear. See
That's
where it's all
really what.
going?
Seriously, that's really why I have the weaponry.
Yeah.
That's totally it.
Yeah.
So speaking about being at the point of death, what's going on with Alcide and?
Oh, Alcide and Sam. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So why is Sam so damn nice?
Is he?
Well, yes, because he's taking the fall for Alcide.
But he's.
Because
I mean, he says
Alcide
it.
bailed him out. Alcide helped him with Tom. He saved Tom.
Yeah, but
he was there for Tommy and.
I know, but I mean, seriously, like that's not just like, well, you know what, dude, I'll totally fix your car. It's like I'm gonna be beaten, and probably killed for you. Like, I mean, there's nice, and then there's like stupid nice.
It's Sam's arc because remember he was not so nice throughout his life.
Exactly. I think
yep.
it's just the nobility that's forced on by his past.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't feel like he can live with himself anymore if he just doesn't do the right thing because he's already feels so bad for all
Yeah.
the things. And plus, I think there is a bit of remorse for Tommy
Yeah.
and the fact that
Oh.
his family just self-destructed.
Yeah.
And so I mean, he kind of did that as well to protect, his quote-unquote new family or the
Yeah.
potential for that new family.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, Alcide's now taking over. Okay, I have to bring this up. Was the biggest gross out moment. Pack chick eating the corpse of Marcus.
Yeah, mom eating son.
It's a ritual. It's like people eat placentas. They eat.
I do not.
I didn't ask if you did. I'm
I'm
saying.
vegetarian.
It was a little unexpected. They don't allude to it being. I mean, first of all, that woman is growly.
Oh, I know.
She
Oh,
comes.
Martha.
She comes.
That's
Like
great
when she walks in,
casting.
it's like she walks in even from the distance, like master shot they've got of her walking into this bar, and you're just like, oh, that is a grisly woman. I do not. She just walks in like. Way too many cigarettes in her lifetime. Where the heck are they? Like it doesn't even sound like a woman. No wonder everybody's like, Jesus, it's her.
I know.
We don't know who she is, but we just know, like, my God, stop smoking.
Oh, what a fantastic casting!
And phenomenal casting, exactly. Considering we find out she's Marcus's, mom, and then she's like, "Well, there's some rituals, some few quid pro quos, provisos that we need to." And it turns out they're like, "Okay, I didn't want to tell you before, but this is how we roll."
I'm gonna eat a corpse.
So
totally
not
fine.
necessary.
Why
there's not enough liquor and therapy in the world to undo that.
Oh my God, so true.
Why did they all bow?
Before Alcide?
Yes.
Because, he's the one that
Right.
killed the former pack leader.
Yeah.
So now he is technically pack leader. So if he had chosen to go and eat the corpse, then he would have been immediately pack leader because these are, alpha males fighting.
Yeah,
And Alcide
ritualistic.
won. So, this is the stag takes down the old stag and the whole thing. And so, but yeah, and he chooses not to do it, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So
and
he's
he
being
says, "I'm good
forced."
either way." So
Yep.
he's also dictating a change of guard and his own way of doing things because he's not following the pack rules.
But he's being forced to be the pack leader now.
I don't know if he's being forced to it. I think it's just an acknowledged thing that he is now the pack leader, and he knows. I don't know. I see. One interesting thing would be, did he kill Marcus knowing that would be the case? I don't necessarily think so, but he felt that he had to do it, and now that he has done it, he knows what comes next, and that is he's going to have to be pack leader. He doesn't care how he's going to be pack leader, but he's pack leader.
Well, interesting. I wonder if he, if he's going to continue as pack leader. The fact that Debbie Pelt is dead as well, like we know who killed Marcus. He doesn't know who killed Debbie yet, and is he going to have to go after Sookie? Because from what we've seen in the promos, it looks like Sookie and Alcide.
Yes.
God damn! Do you ever just want to be Anna Paquin?
No.
So no. All right, now.
Not
guys.
really, but okay, keep going.
Yeah. All right.
I'll
But
be Alcide.
yeah, it's like, huh. But I wonder if he's going to have to go after her, or if he's going to, if he doesn't want to be pack leader because he knows he has to go after her, although he doesn't know yet.
He doesn't know
Well,
yet.
but
Yeah.
even if he did know, again, so he's writing his own book as pack leader. So
Right.
the question is, if he were to ever find out, does he change things and go, okay, well, I mean, it's again something that'll be interesting to see.
Now, from what I understand is, I know a lot of people that have read the books, and I've asked questions about the werewolves that they don't they kind of trail off as the books go along.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is this something that Alan Ball put in, so that they could create a new universe for the werewolves to give them something?
That's certainly possible. I didn't get to talk to him, but I may, so I'll definitely ask that if I do. I'm not sure, but I mean, I think it could be, because I mean they've changed so many things. I think, in a way, it's like what Game of Thrones did with Jaime Lannister, where he's really not. You don't see him very much in that book, but you have to have your main character on. And so anybody who trails off in True Blood, I think it's going to be the same thing. It's like, but people want to see Alcide, so there's going to be a way to keep him on.
That's what I was thinking. Is Jaime Lannister, like in other shows, they have gone off script, so to speak, when it comes to like what happens in a book, but when it's a TV show, you may be beholden more to a viewership. So maybe Alan Ball didn't necessarily, maybe he wanted to bring on the werewolves as just like a little side subplot. But I don't think anybody, probably even Joe, bless his heart, although, he's been doing great work for a long time, nobody knew Alcide was going to shoot up like this as like one of the big three. You know, his bottom line is he's one of the big three male leads right now.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic for him, and maybe they're continuing the storyline because something unexpected happened and they're going with it.
And I was reading on one of the many blogs and whatnot, and I'm thinking, I heard someone speculating that possibly they could combine him with a future character that we have not seen yet.
I know who it is.
Quinn.
Yeah, it's Quinn. Were-Tiger.
Yeah.
Because we've already had Panthers. Why not have a tiger?
But I've heard that Quinn, according to the book, is this massive man.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, he even dwarfs Alcide.
Yeah. He's a
So
bit
you're
of a
saying you'd be
beast.
combining Alcide's character with, as opposed to bringing
Relationship-wise
somebody
and all
else?
of that, and what happens
Oh,
with
in terms
his
of
character.
storyline.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't think they'd bring one in?
How do you find someone? He's supposed to be this massive man, and it's just manlier than Alcide.
Of all the types you've seen on True Blood,
Yeah.
and I've seen some interesting castings there,
Yeah.
you really don't think there's somebody out there to be like, I'd love to play Were-Tiger, and he comes in at 6'8",
It's,
280 pounds of all muscle.
It depends
But
how
it's-
far it goes. It depends. I mean, because I don't think we certainly won't see that this season.
I don't think so,
or
yeah.
we probably. I mean, that kind of casting notice in the breakdowns would have leaked to someone.
Right, yes.
So, and I
7
mean,
foot tall.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be able to just go through
Right.
breakdown service. They'd have to open it up to like all over the place.
Right. No, they really would. And I also, I mean, was there only a certain amount of actors out there who are, you know, big, like, that fit the description of Quinn. But so I don't think it'll be this season. Now, it's possible that Todd Lowe spilled a little bit about a possible season 6. We don't really know. But when he was doing an interview, he was talking about, and I forget, and forgive me, I forget the site, but he was talking about, you know, covering up Sookie's Anna Paquin's pregnancy, because they still had, as of the time of the red carpet a few weeks ago, they still had 3 episodes to shoot, and she's pretty. I mean, you can tell she's preggers. So he was talking about stunt doubles and all that, and how it would affect the future. And he's like, "Oh well, when we start shooting season 6, she will have had the baby by then." Now he could have just been saying, when we
assuming that
yeah,
would be
if
the
we
case.
do get that, but also they may know something we don't.
Right.
So if they do go to a 6th season, you know, it's certainly possible. I mean, if they're running out of people to bring in, I mean, there's only so many supernatural things out there. Like, where tiger, sure. So I wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility.
So it's a were-tiger.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost positive that being Alan, I don't know. I would suspect that Alan Ball, being as prolific a producer as he is and a showrunner, he has to have possible futures already mapped out. I don't think it would be like, oh gosh, we're coming back for a 6th season.
Yeah, but then he won't be showrunner.
Right.
What's that?
He won't be showrunner.
Well, I mean, you know, it's still his baby. He's
Yeah,
still, even if he's not actually running the show, I'm sure he has, you know, I don't know what you want to call it, stock in the company, so to speak. He'd obviously have a big voice in the direction of the show.
You don't think they've already mapped it out since the beginning?
To a certain extent, I'm sure.
I think so, and there were certainly things in the book that they could map out, but I think certain things have developed. I mean, look, Lafayette is supposed to be dead, so
Right.
and Lafayette's one of the major characters.
He's so good.
And what about Lafayette? We really didn't.
Yeah.
What did he have going on tonight? I'm trying to
Well,
think.
yeah, let's move on to that, because Lafayette is, it's one of the smaller things that happened, but he's obviously devastated about Jesus, and I am also devastated about Jesus, because I loved him. But, you know, he's obviously, we're going to see him again, so... the thing I do wonder if he's going, how much his power is going to manifest and how it's going to change now that he's full of grief. One thing we do have to mention is Jesus' body is gone.
Gone.
It's totally gone.
We have absolutely no idea why.
No idea why. And I mean, we can speculate, but we have no idea why.
Right.
He's devastated. Did he call Sookie the angel of death? He's like, everyone dies around you. Like, you're dangerous to be around. He's obviously still in shock. Like, he's just not, like, you can see when the body's not there, he's just, his eyes roll back. And Nelson Ellis is honestly fantastic. He's one of my favorites on the show.
He's a phenomenal actor.
He really is. And that look of shock, that look of, I have no idea what's happening in my life, was so powerful. You know, we don't know where it's going, and he wasn't really in the episode that much toward the end.
But that's his beauty, because I love the way that he plays. I love the way he plays Lafayette. First of all, his mannerisms are gold. Everything he does to me is phenomenal, and he's one of those guys that he could be that lost and powerless and vulnerable in that scene, and in a flip second in the beginning, rarely have we seen him take that kind of control. When he's up in Alcide's face, honestly, I am not at all doubting that at that point Lafayette could, if he may not be able to win against Alcide, but he will put in a scrap.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And his whole thing was like, you heard, and the whole thing with his, you know, just like,
I
what?
know.
You like
type
the
of stuff.
sass.
I love the sass. The best thing about Lafayette is his sass.
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
true. It's true. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Another little thing we might want to mention is Jason being so sweet after the party with the girl. He was nice to drunk girl.
He's a mature
Like,
man.
I can't believe you're that kind of an asshole. And he's like, no, yeah, I am, actually.
Yeah,
It was
like I'll
fantastic.
never call you. I'll
Yeah.
never. Yeah, I thought that was kind of awesome to see.
Yeah.
Like, Jason is one of those. He's sort of like, not to go super like young on you, but he's like the sacred clown. He's the guy who is he's dumb. I mean, he's an innocent. He's an innocent. No matter what, things just keep happening to him, but he keeps telling the truth. The truth keeps coming out, and he keeps saying like, this is what's happening in the world around me. So he is sort of the truth teller in the series, and he's like, no, this is who I am. And but what's happening is he's really not. He's being nice to her, and so I think that's part of Jessica changing him.
You're explaining like crazy stuff to me.
Just crazy.
Sorry, I got a little deep there.
You did.
I'm out of it now.
Well, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to see him develop as well. Whether, you know, to see him go from somebody who hated vampires and V so much to being hooked on it to falling in love with one
He
possibly.
said he's developing. I think he's already very well developed.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see the legs with the?
Really?
I'm sorry.
It's such a great line too, because he's like, by the way, put a sweatshirt on, because your body, it's something like it's making me anxious, something fierce, or something of that extent. It was a great line.
We're being
Sexy
kind.
time.
It's gonna be very guys versus girls this season.
It is.
You know,
It is.
Right now, Roth isn't here.
Right.
But next week we're gonna start talking about Jessica and her little Red Riding Hood
Hey,
number.
you can go ahead and talk about it.
Phenomenal.
I'm totally fine with that.
The fact they did it for 2 seasons. Oh my God.
Equal time.
I know, but right now we're playing nice. It's our first episode.
Why, thank you. If Roth were here, she'd back me up. Because if
I
you
know
look
she
at
would.
him standing in the doorway and the leg muscle, it's like, there are no words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, one more thing I want to mention as we'll move off of his thighs. Sorry. So Andy at Merlotte's. So he's a judge come in, and he gets Andy to write off a speeding ticket that his son
without
got.
really twisting his arm so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really wasn't difficult. Very interesting to see if that is going to play into later storylines.
And as we know in the True Blood universe, everything has a consequence.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And because the first time I saw when I watched the episode, I thought it was all about Jason and Hoyt.
Right.
But then the second time I saw it twice. The second time
So did I.
Yeah. Okay. Good. The second time I saw the episode,
It's really weird.
You lie.
it was all, I thought it was a diversion for Jason and Hoyt to just butt heads, but that wasn't it. It was all about the judge. What is it? Does it have something to do with? Here's a plot line that was dropped. Jason, and remember QB1, the one that was hooked on V?
Yep.
Whatever happened to that story? Is that the judge's son?
Could be.
That's
Could
because
be.
it just disappeared, and they leave no stone unturned.
Yeah.
So
Although it wasn't a huge surprise that Andy would do something like that, because technically speaking, he's not the run of the mill, like by the book sheriff.
He doesn't have
Are
this
they ever?
stiffest spine
He's,
ever.
well, the first sheriff definitely was. The
Right.
poor guy couldn't handle it, and he's like,
I
I'm
know.
out of this town. I don't know what y'all are doing. I'm retiring. He's just like, too much death. I can't deal with it. Obviously, Andy has a moral center that's, it doesn't go straight. It's kind of wiggly.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Aw,
It's not
wiggly.
like it's out of control that he would do something like that. But I think you are right. I think they're very, very purposeful in the things that they do. And there's definitely a reason why, first of all, that they would introduce that component of Andy's personality, let alone the judge.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, it's not the first time or last time we're going to see that judge, most likely.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting. Another thing that you were talking about as far as Andy's concerned is there are a lot of multiple themes. So that whole Butch and Sundance theme is most likely going to play with Andy and Jason.
Oh, they
which is
always.
great. Even in
Yeah.
even the clips of the future shows when Andy's like, "I've had sex," and Jason
sorry.
looks at him and is like, "Congratulations, welcome to the club." Like that sort of stuff that they're going to be. Why was that?
Last night, I hear the 6.
That is phenomenal.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
So that was just the best Andy imitation I've ever heard.
Thank you, but it's because it was awesome. He's like, it's like it's honestly, it's like the biggest thing he's ever had to divulge ever. He's like, I've had, almost like he's trying to get it out of his throat, but it's not working. I've had sex. But it was
You've
awesome.
been practicing that. You've been practicing.
has.
that.
He's
No,
totally been practicing
I'm
that.
just channeling True Blood right
Oh,
now. It's
okay.
the spear talk, and now I'm just channeling. I don't know
Right.
what's going on, but it's nice to see like Jason and Andy, Eric and Bill, and it's most likely there's gonna be a little bit of even when they're not all girls, like Sookie and Lafayette is gonna be kind of a double now, since they seem to be finding
Pam
themselves
and Tara.
Pam and Tara,
and
exactly. So
Tara.
there's going to be a lot of these, like, not necessarily alone, but these duos walking around, Sam and, Alcide and so on. So it's going to be really nice to see little microchisms and little cliques form in the show. It's going to be great.
Little packs of packs. Gotcha.
Thanks, the packs.
What about? I know we can't talk about it because they didn't show us anything about it. The Authority. I just want to know about the
All
Authority.
right, here's what I know about the Authority, and again, this is not from the episodes. This is only from the red carpet. There is some power play going on in there, and one of the really powerful characters is the little kid vampire who is going to be our guest in the coming weeks.
Yes.
Jacob Hopkins. So I'm really really excited about that. But yeah, there's some rough people. Obviously, from the promos, you can see that Roman Christopher Maloney. All right, I'm gonna drool again. I'm gonna stop. But he obviously, thank you. Oh, thank you. honestly. Christopher Maloney is like a huge crush of mine. We really need to get him on the show, and then he can sit next to me. But yeah, so I mean, he obviously is against Eric and Bill. So, and one of the things that Carolyn Hennessy told me is that her character Rosalind is just like, I mean, I don't know what her feelings on either side because she couldn't say, but she's this like crazy Texas madam, and she's extremely, extremely old, but she loves everything about Texas and the South, and she's going to be really fun to play around with.
Shouldn't she have been on Dallas, maybe, you think?
Yeah,
The
right?
reboot? Okay.
Yeah, no, and also Christopher Heyerdahl is on, and he used to be on Sanctuary, which I absolutely loved because I'm a nerd. And but yeah, so it'll be interesting. And then, oh my God, and then from Spartacus, oh my God, Peter Mensa.
Who was he at Spartacus?
Oh my God! He was on Emmaus.
Oh.
I'm so excited. I mean, and now he's not at boot camp for Spartacus, so he can come on the show.
Is it this is turning into like Spartacus Light then, with all the men without their shirts?
That's
Great.
fine.
We need more Nora.
Oh, they'll be making
Yerman.
Nora.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Nora. Let's get some more Nora in there.
Those
Let's
are
get
our
some more
predictions.
Jessica.
Right,
Let's get
right.
some more. Can we get a little something for the guys? Can we do that? There's
know.
way too much. That show
Look.
makes me want to work out. Honestly, it's just a little. It's a little over the top, guys.
I
Eat
understand.
a burger. Have some ice cream. Do something.
No, don't. No, but you'll have naked Sookie, you'll have naked Jessica, and I did find out that
Naked
they're-
Prager Sookie.
No. But here's what I found out.
Stunt double Sookie.
Yes, they use stunt doubles. They were using normally she has a stunt double, but they've been bringing her in to body double. So they said they were hiding it somewhat, but then after a certain point they couldn't anymore, and so they've had them in there a lot. Yes. So you won't have to look at naked Prager Sookie.
Okay.
It's not being put into the storyline in any way.
Nora's English accent alone is enough.
Also she's like the nicest person ever.
Who, Nora?
Rachel Griffiths.
I don't want to know she's nice.
No,
No,
she's
I wanna
really
know, I
nice.
wanna
She's
know
been
she's
Robin
not
Hood.
nice.
Yeah,
that she's
she was
naughty.
She was on Robin. No, the cool thing about her is like when you speak with her, she's very sweet and she's very lovely, and then you see her as Nora, and you're like, oh, okay. You love plenty of naked
That is
girls.
so classic her.
And we'll have a glammed up Tara. I think because I don't know if you noticed how in the previews.
Yeah.
Kind
She
of
looked-
interview with a
she-
vampire when they all of a sudden
she
become the
looked
best
different.
version of themselves.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and speaking
You'll
of
have
which,
fun people to look at.
speaking of like makeup and stuff, what's going on with Hoyt? And what was with the eyeliner? I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. I was wondering.
He was going into Fantasia.
I think Hoyt's going dark.
Hoyt's
He's
gone
going
dark.
He's
Yep.
going dark.
Can he go
Dark Hoyt.
To a
I don't
degree?
know. I mean, he just basically
can go
told his
dark.
best friend to f off. I think.
Have you ever had a really bad breakup? Because I just had one.
14. Yes.
I'll wear a lot of I'll wear a lot of eyeliner and go dark too.
Okay. So then Hoyt is going to be a bad dude this season. He's going to be a little mixed up. He's going to take some of that terror anger and
Right.
he's going to cause havoc. Try to get Jessica jealous, perhaps. Was he going to be
Yeah.
turned? Is he going to be? Could he be turned into a
Oh,
vampire?
I don't
What's
know.
going on?
I just like guyliner.
You do? Okay.
I do. I love guyliner.
We got
Guyliner.
we're wearing
Okay.
guyliner next week.
Next week,
Thank you.
guyliner.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Those are our predictions so far.
All right. Well, guys, it looks like we are getting ready to wrap up. So, make sure you guys follow AfterBuzz TV on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Don't forget, tell a friend, leave comments, and guys, please talk to us on Twitter because I tweet about True Blood nonstop. So please start discussions with us. We'd love to hear it. You can follow me at Jenna Busch, BUSCH, like the beer, not the president.
You can find me at The Everyday Man, like The Everyday Man.
And you can find me at Yermanger, YERMANGUR. Also, you can follow me or see our Real Housewives of New York episodes on Tuesday nights from 9 to 10.
Oh, yeah, I want to plug Eureka, Tuesday nights, 10 to 11.
Oh, you don't want me to plug it? I do like 14 shows a week here.
Start now.
Okay.
Go. You have 13
Right.
seconds.
The Bachelorette, True Blood, duets, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Right.
Awesome.
Hey, and you can watch my Stan Lee show, Cocktails with Stan, sorry.
Yes.
On World of Heroes. All right, enough plugging.
Good night, everybody.
See you guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you
later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.